Hey, what's up guys? Fidelity Wonder here. This is my Odd Eyes Magician deck profile for the June 12th, 2017 ban list that I thought I'd throw together for y'all. I've been working at this deck for a long time, ever since the structure deck from Master of Pendulum even released. And I'm finally getting it to a point to where I can actually use the darn thing. Because, well, I don't buy too many cards, except for lately I've been buying quite a bit. First off, let's get into the monsters. I run 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragons, the Duelist Alliance Secret Rare Edition, because it looks so awesome. And I just love the way it even sparkles in the scale, which is very unique to this card. The Ultimate Rare does also do that in the scale, but obviously it's the Ultimate Rare thing, not the Secret Rare. I just prefer Secret Rare in this case. This, I'm a bit of an oddball for 3 Odd Eyes Phantom Dragons. This, I was lucky enough to order it online literally right before the price shot up on the darn thing. I personally like my rank 7 engine more than my rank 4, even though now we have the School Crabats, the Wisdom Eyes, and whatnot to make for rank 4s. I still prefer my rank 7 engine because it's fun. 3 Oath Dragon Magicians for recyclability. Always, always, always have to be able to recycle something, or else if the game ends up being a grind game, you kind of just lose. 3 Dragon Pit Magicians, scale 8, and a really, really good spell trap removal. However, what really sucks is if your opponent decides to open with Anti-Spell Fragrance, then you're kind of screwed. But that rarely happens. 3 Wisdom Eye Magician. It searches out your main scale, which you typically want your Oath Dragon and Dragon Pit in the scale. A popular play is if you have Noble Dragon Magician, which is the level 3 tuner. Over here, Oath Dragon, return it to your hand. Dragon Pit, drop it, because drop Noble Dragon and the Noble Dragon special itself, and then synchro with it. Yeah, that's a popular thing to do, and that's why it works. But Wisdom Eye just helps you get into your scale quicker. Then I run 3 performable Skull Crobat Jokers. I only have 2 super rare variants as of right now, but soon to get a 3rd. Because it looks amazing as a super. I didn't realize it would look that amazing until I got one. As a super, it just looks so amazing. But it searches your Odd Eyes. It searches just about anything in the deck. Except for the couple Dracos that are in here. And for the 2 Oaths, I run 2 Zhang because I love getting into Raging and Rebellion. Those things can change a game so quickly, it's not even funny. And also, it's a pretty low scale. And it negates a light monster effect whenever it's on the field, which is not bad at all. Then there is 1, or not 1, but 2 Odd Eyes Mirage Dragons. I use it as a scale 8. It's not a bad scale 8 at all. But it can protect your monsters from destruction, and it can also be used for Nirvana High Paladin, which is really what I like to use it most for, because it's really funny. 2 Dragonies, these are soon to be changed out for performable Daggermans. Most people would wonder why I would use them, but you'll see whenever I run into the extra deck. You audience players out here will probably already know what I'm referring to in this. But this, as right now, if you don't have Daggerman, or this I used particularly before. That's why I'm only swapping it to Daggerman now, because Now that we have 3 Skull Combat, it really doesn't matter. Dragonies would search out your Skull Combat Joker if you opened crap, but it's kind of hard to open crap now. Well, these will be changed to Daggermans. Then of my one-ups, Performable Odd Eyes Light Phoenix. This thing is really just kind of, if you're in a tight squeeze, this I like to use with the Light Phoenix, or not Light Phoenix, which is what this is, Unicorn. Target this, my Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, gains 2,000 attack because this is 2,000. 4,500 double damage. Gets you out of a bind quite quickly, or can just end a game. Then I'm going to do these two at the same time. Luster and Vector. Luster for Ignister, which is a given. If you're using pendulums, you want to have access to Ignister. And Luster, if I'm going against pendulums, it just kind of stops them right where they're at. And then my one Noble Dragon Magician special summons itself from the graveyard. It's really useful. Really good with bouncing back and forth with Oath Dragon and Noble Dragon. And for the last monster of the deck, Performable Odd Eyes Unicorn. This is really only useful as a scale and really in tight squeezes, and it's a scale 8, so it really helps. Now for the spells. 3 Sky Iris, main searching card for your Odd Eyes monsters. And since I run Unicorn, Light Phoenix, 2, 3, 4. And then the 6 Odd Eyes, so that's 10 cards this thing can search. Plus the Fusion. And gotta have the Super Rare variant because it looks awesome as a Super Rare. Forgive me for not having the actual cards and me using proxies for this, but I'm about to order the remainder of them anyways. For those who you want to know, it's Satellarknight Skybridges. I have 3 Duelist Alliance. These things can search out even your Luster and your Vector if you're going against pendulums. And they can also search out Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. They can search out Pendulum Call, Amazing Pendulum. They can search out so many different things. I didn't even realize this until I actually tried it, and it does work. Surprisingly. 2 Pendulum Calls. If you open with... Ideally, to open with this, you want your Noble Dragon, but it doesn't matter. You can drop anything. Any card and add Dragon Pit, Oath Dragon. If you add Wisdom Eye, you can't activate Wisdom Eye's effect that turn, sadly. Amazing Pendulum, if you're kind of in a bind and they twin twisted your scale or whatever happened to your scale, you don't have one. Amazing Pendulum, boop, your scale's back in your hand. Odd Eyes Fusion, you can either go into... There's 3 fusions that require this to be some that require that don't contact fusion. You have Rune Eyes, Brave Eyes, and Vortex. I'm not going to include Beast Eyes because that's a contact fusion. And last of all, Terraforming to get into Sky Iris. And that's it for the main deck. Let me grab my extra deck here. That main deck on average is worth probably around, say, 175. Last time I checked it was worth 200, but cards' values have changed. First things first, 2 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragons. This thing is your Cyber Dragon Infinity. It does what you need it to do. It can get rid of stuff. It's really funny. And then this is why I'm using the Daggermans and the... Because Brave Eyes. When it's summoned, you can negate, or not negate, change the attack of all your opponent's monsters to 0. And it negates the effect of anything with 0 attack. Meaning, at least, I'm mostly sure of this, but one of my buddies who's really good with like effect rulings said that it negates your Ghost Ogre Ghost Ogre, Ghost Reaper, and Ash Blossom, even from the hand. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. And then I have my 2 Meteor Burst Dragon. It basically it stops flip effects, and oh, you have Maiden. No, you don't. It's so funny because it's just like, oh, you can't activate your monster effects in the battle phase now. Then I have Black Rose Moonlight. This thing, it's kind of used in certain situations. You don't want to use it every time, but you don't want to use it whenever you. Its use. It has its moments where it has useful use, but mainly it's really funny in game too. Because if you take your kaiju out of their monsters, Black Rose Moonlight, the kaiju will go back to your hand. It's really hilarious. I've made so many people mad doing that. Then Clear Wing, because why would you not run your Clear Wing? Clear Wing's so trolly. Ignister. Removal in general. And if your opponent's using monsters, you don't lose a darn thing. Your opponent just went down 2 cards. So trolly. And not only that, but it special summons a Draco Slayer from your deck. So useful. Nirvana High Paladin. This thing. It's a Synchro Pendulum, for those of you who don't know. Scale 8. It's so trolly. So trolly. It's 3,300 attack. Whenever this thing destroys an opponent's monster by battle, half your opponent's life points. Your opponent could be on full health. You attack a defense position monster. Their life points goes down to 4,000 because you just halved it. It's really funny. Then 2 Odd-Eyes Absolute Dragons. I find it unnecessary to run 3 of these things. Some people will, but mainly people who don't really worry about the extra deck. Because your Odd-Eyes, or your Oath Dragon, any of these things with Odd-Eyes in it can be thrown back into the extra deck too. Which some people don't realize, but particularly those people who use the deck at my school. But provided those people who use it at my school really don't know what they're doing. They're using a mixture when they have 1 and 2 of the structure deck. It kind of makes me mad. 1 Odd-Eyes Raging Dragon. Raging Dragon is basically a hi, goodbye card. Once it hits the field, if you don't do anything about it, you're dead. If it's XYZ summoned using Absolute and another level 7 dragon, it can attack twice, which it's a 3k beat 6, so that's 6,000 damage. But it also has a secondary effect. You can detach 1 XYZ material. Nuke your opponent's side of the field. So it blows up your opponent's side of the field, which is wholly ridiculous. And for each card it blew up, it gains 200 attack. And it can still attack twice. So if they had 5 cards, well, that's game with this card but by itself. Odd-Eyes Rebellion Dragon. Rebellion is basically a lower powered form of Raging that used to be a pain in the literal behind to get. I kept trying to get one for my buddy, but he wouldn't let me get one because he was only using 1, but I don't know why. Finally got one. I used it until Raging became a thing, and now I use this, and this thing doesn't really see much use. But I might end up... But I still kind of like it. It's kind of funny. It's an emergency beat steak. Then, for the last 2 monsters, extra deck monsters, Big Eye, rank 7. Hi, big thing over here. It's now mine. And it's yours until it dies, or your opponent finds a way to take it back. And then, last but not least, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This thing is burn damage galore. It's so hilarious. If you're going up a deck like Paleozoics, they're kind of just dead first turn. If your deck revolves around activating an effect to do anything, you're dead. Now, onto the side deck. These things I have gotten extremely lucky with. I don't know how I managed to pull the darn things. But 2, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This thing is holy crap. It negates the search of a card or a special summon direct from the deck or a Foolish Burial. Or the stupid Grasslick Screener, which is now, thankfully, on the ban list. This thing still is ridiculous. I've pulled 3 secrets from Maximum Crisis. 2 of these and 1 Duelist Alliance. How I've gotten so lucky, I don't know. Then I run 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. This card is really, really funny. Oh, hi! Goodbye! Just more effect negation. Danko Seka for your Paleozoic matchups. I hate Paleozoics with a roaring passion. So, this always helps out with those matchups. 2 Gamma Seals to get rid of your stuff that is getting on my nerves, that I can't deal with, that I'm just having problems getting rid of. This gets rid of it. 2 Pot of Acquisitiveness. This I'm using again is usually used for decks kind of like decks that like to banish my stuff, really. If you want to banish my stuff, I'm gonna side this. Cosmic Cyclone. I don't know why it's expensive, but it is. Probably because of the new True King support and Dark Magical Circle. Just to get those out of the way and gone. That's really about all I can think of with this thing. Raigeki. I actually... Fine, it took me forever to get a Raigeki. It took me forever. And I mean literally forever. Raigeki's board wipe and go in. I was sitting here trying my hardest to do something. And I just couldn't. To get one. I did not want to order one. And then I managed to go through. And one of my buddies was selling his collection in it. I got his collection. Had 3 of them in it. Which is about what I paid for the entire collection. Which I found really funny. It came with an instant fusion and other things I was looking for. Solemn Strike, one of them. I only own 1, sadly. I want to get 2 more. This I actually pulled from a special edition. I bought a box of special editions. Only got 1 secret, but that was it, and it was totally worth it. Then Solemn Warning. Because, well, Solemn Warning. Same reason for Solemn Strike. And because I still hate with a roaring passion, Paleozoics 2 Royal Decrees. 1 super rare from the Secret Forces and the other one from Duelist Saga. I really think this looks amazing. I love the cards in Duelist Saga. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this deck and how you think I could improve it. But it's been running really smoothly. So I don't think... I mean, I may cut 1 of these or 2 of them. Because a lot of people... But I want to get a Persona, but that thing is ridiculously expensive. Holy crap. I mean, I know this is ridiculously expensive, but... I don't want to go out and buy a card that I can't pull out of a set. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your feedback and comments below.